people were out of the car? Yes. Oh my God.
Well, what's up, you guys? Glad to honestly be here. Stay tuned for the whole video because it kind of just gets worse and worse if you guys want like the full story. So what we'll go ahead and start with is the story of the accident. Then I'll show the pictures and videos of the car and how bad the wreck was after the accident, and how I'm just getting pretty much screwed left and right. As far as right now, case is currently still open. I can't really post this until the case is closed. So today's date is actually January 14th. The accident happened on December 14th. So it's been exactly 1 month from now since I had the accident. I still have, you know, some scratches still shown. My knees are still red as well. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Like right there. Same with this one, right on top. My elbows are pretty healed for the most part. Top of my head is all healed. My toe is healed. Oh, and my back is healed. So that pretty much like shows where all my injuries were, but I'm gonna go ahead and go into detail of everything that happened, including going to the hospital and just stuff like that. One of the things I wanted to tell you guys as well is if the merch was a little delayed, the accident was the case. I couldn't really like walk for like the 3 days after the accident, so I really couldn't do anything for a couple weeks, and that's why the merch has been delayed, because I take care of pretty much everything. Shipping, online orders, everything. So I apologize if things were late. It was because of the accident. I know a lot of people don't know about the accident, which is why I'm going to make this video right now. So without further ado, let's start with the story time. Basically what happened was my ex-girlfriend, she needed help with her brakes and they were going out. So I told her that's nothing to mess with. Go to AutoZone, pull over, see if they can help you with anything. If not, order a tow truck and get your car towed to your house or to a shop. And that's exactly what she did. She ordered a tow truck because AutoZone closed. There's nothing else she could do. So she ordered a tow truck, and as she ordered a tow truck, I came to go and help her out. So as I get to AutoZone, I went to her car and I was pressing the brakes trying to figure out what the problem was. I think she had like a leak. Her brakes were not working at all. Tow truck guy finally came. He wanted to throw the car onto the dolly and not the flatbed. It was a flatbed tow truck, but he said since it had the all-wheel drive option and the brakes didn't work or something like that, he wanted to put it onto the dolly and tow it that way. And I was like, all right, whatever. So he puts it onto the tow dolly, everything's good, wraps it up. So my ex-girlfriend and I, we get in my car and then we follow behind the tow truck on East Colonial in Orlando. On East Colonial, for those of you who know, it's a 3-lane road. I'm not sure what the mile an hour is. It's either 45 or 55, I think. Not 100% sure. It's a pretty busy road. So the tow truck driver and I, we were going down East Colonial. We were taking her car to the body shop, and from there I was gonna just take her home. All of a sudden, as we're halfway to the body shop, her back wheels like locked up and smoke was going everywhere, filled the entire road. And I was like flashing my lights at the tow truck driver and he wasn't like seeing me. And then finally, after a while, he finally, like, I guess looked back and saw that there was smoke and he finally stopped, but he stopped in the middle of the lane. So it's a 3-lane road. We were in the middle lane and he stopped right in the middle of the road, and I stopped behind him to be like, what's going on? So I put my hazard lights on, got out of the car, and so did she. She got out of the car, and we were trying to figure out the all-wheel drive situation. Then we came to the conclusion that we were just gonna throw her car onto the flatbed. And so as he was hooking everything up to kind of like pull it onto the flatbed, I guess I was standing behind the tow truck. I was standing right in front of my car. So this is my car. I was standing here, I'm guessing, and she was standing here. And as he was like pulling it up, because I remember this is the tow truck and he was over here like pulling it using the levers and stuff. So I remember that. And then so my car was here, as I said, I was here, she was here. As he was pulling her car onto the tow truck, the guy behind over here wasn't paying attention and hit my car going 75 miles an hour. That's what the FHP said. 75 miles an hour, hit my car, and then from there, my car hit me and her. We went flying. Like, all I remember, so I was standing here, right? My legs like this, it hit me like this, I must have gone backwards and I blacked out. And the next thing I remember, it was like I was drunk. I just remember pictures. So the next picture I remember was me sliding on top of my head, like right on the crown. I just remember I was upside down, and then I blacked out again after I got hit, and then I was on top of my head. The next thing I remember was standing up and looking directly at the tow truck driver. His back was against the tow truck like this, and I got hit, and I must have slid like right here, and I stood up right in front of him. He was looking at me like, oh shit, oh shit. And now that I'm thinking about it, it was kind of funny, but it definitely was not a funny situation. But that's all I remember, and then I must have blacked out. And then the next thing I remember, I'm in my socks, walking in the glass, trying to find my phone. I was in a daze. I didn't know where I was so confused. I was just walking around trying to find my phone. Couldn't find my phone because I was like trying to call an ambulance or something, but I couldn't find my phone. And then all I hear is Johnathan, Johnathan, and I'm like, who's calling my name? And then I look over, and she's on the ground with her lower back about this much, her back skin folded over, and you could see inside of her back. It was the most gruesome thing I think I've ever seen. But I was also in a daze, so I only remember like a little bit, like a picture, but it was pretty disgusting. She was in a lot of pain. She said she was in so much pain that she kept passing out. As soon as she said, Johnathan, and I looked at her, I must have blacked out because I don't remember anything else. Next thing I remember, I was in the back of an ambulance. So I was in the ambulance, they asked me some questions, and they asked me how old I was, and I said I was 25, but I'm 26. But like my birthday was recent, so I don't know. Regardless, I got the answer wrong. So I said 25 and I was 26, so they knew something was up. They took me straight to the trauma care unit as well as her. We went to the same one, same hospital. And all I remember, like, as they were like reeling me into the trauma care unit, was like everybody was around me saying, give me this, give me that, check this, check that. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was also really dazed out, and I'm not sure what they gave me. They put an IV in me. So I was just kind of like just cruising. I was like, do what you guys gotta do. And I was actually good. I was at peace. They wanted to check my internals, so they put this thing on my stomach. I'm pretty sure it's an ultrasound, and checked for internal bleeding, and everything was good. Then they wanted to check my head to toe for any broken bones or anything internal, so they threw me into a CT scan. And as they threw me into the CT scan, so I was on my cushion on the hospital bed, and they had to like pick me up and throw me onto like a hard flat bed, I guess, to move me in and out. They go, all right, we're gonna move him in 1, 2, 3, and I said, oh, this might hurt, because my back was actually starting to hurt because of the road rash. And I'll get into the road rash part, because I'm not sure how I slid or fell because I blacked out and I don't remember, but we'll get into that later. But they threw me into the CT scan, and they said 1, 2, 3, and they threw me literally, and I'm like, oh, I was like, dang, that kind of hurt, but it wasn't that big of a deal. So then they threw me into the CT scan, did in and out, and then went back to the trauma care unit, just chilling there. They said everything was good, everything came back negative, everything was just external. Like my head was just contusions, just everything was swelling on top, nothing internal. Same with everything in my body, everything was external, not in. Very blessed. Then I was like, oh, my toe is actually really starting to hurt. That's like pretty much the same time that my mom came in. She was like devastated. I rolled over the blanket to like look at my toe, and the toenail was completely bent at a 90-degree angle. And I was like, oh, lovely. And then the doctor came, and she was like, oh, you want me to take that off? I was like, that's gonna hurt. But she got like a big pair of scissors and just was like cutting it piece by piece, and I was like, ah! Like, it makes me cringe like right now. Like, I'm curling my toes. It was not fun, but she ended up getting the whole toenail off. If I would've went home with a bent toe, that would have sucked. She took care of that, and that pretty much wraps up the accident and all of what happened in the ER. The next thing is a ticket. FHP decided to write me up for a ticket. I'll throw it up right here. I actually forgot what it was. All I remember, it was for like jaywalking or standing in the middle of the road where you're not supposed to be. He wrote me a ticket for that, and it also throws 3 points on my license, and I'm like, oh, cool, thanks, dude, appreciate it. And then he was gonna write her a ticket, my ex-girlfriend, and we were like really, dude? She's in surgery right now, and you're gonna give her a ticket? She had to have surgery like that night of her lower back to like sew it up. She also had a broken thumb and a broken knee, and tore her ACL and MCL. So she definitely got the worst of it. The FHP came to me in the trauma care unit and was like, hey man, we're gonna give you a ticket. Sucks to suck, basically. And then he just left. Didn't ask how I was, nothing. Whatever. He left, then I'm stuck with a ticket. Now I gotta pay for a ticket. After the ticket, you have 30 days. So I actually got the ticket, and since it was an injury ticket, I guess, it was like 500 bucks. I'm like, dude, come on, bro. Because of an injury, it was way more. The ticket was even more to get a lawyer. So I'm fighting that in court with a lawyer. Hopefully that gets expunged. We'll see. That's just like kicking me while I'm down, but it gets worse. So next thing, I wanted to kind of like show you what happened, show you a video of the car, and show you pictures of what my car currently looks like. And just to clarify, it wasn't the Mustang or Corvette, it was my daily. So I actually had 3 cars. Thankfully, it was that car. I'll go ahead and show you the video right now. Jeez, that must have been me right there, the front, right there. Well, this is the car and what it looks like. Look at the exhaust on the ground. Jeez.
Airbags did deploy.
They did?
This driver's side did.
Yes. All right. Help me, do me a favor, please.
The window smashed.
Yeah, whatever's in the trunk, you might not be able to retrieve right now. If that's the case, that way when they take it, when they get this vehicle where they're going to take it, then they can pry it open.
Am I allowed to take the tape off?
There's glass all in there. Look at glass in there.
So, was the car running when it got hit?
Yeah, it was on.
Okay, so.
Is this the one where the 2 people were out of the car? And
Yes.
Oh my God.
They were in the they took this.
Pressed up against the back of the seat.
It does.
Wow.
Was this seat already down, Jonathan? Or-
Yeah, the snowboard was like that.
Okay. Well, try to get what you can.
It
Or you need me
might
to-
not come out.
So I had my snowboard in here, and I jammed into the door and completely sliced it. Oh, I need a new snowboard. All the glass. That is crazy. All of it. The whole rear windshield is like gone.
I guess that's a piece that just fell out somewhere.
Yeah, I guess that come off. It looks like plastic. That is probably from the back. Although, could be part of
Kind
it.
of hard to tell.
Where'd that come from?
Right
That's
off
what-
the back part of the back bumper.
think it's
Oh,
Like on
oh,
this
oh.
side.
I think it's back here.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah. Nah, we would use steel cable.
Oh, you guys are the ones who.
Yeah,
did
we
it.
would have used steel cable.
Wait, so what's that from again?
This was
We
laying
don't know.
right here,
It was inside.
right in there like that.
Oh,
But
wow.
it's a tow strap, but it's you
It's
know
not
it
yours.
could be from the other vehicle that was being towed or something.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that thing's ripped.
Yeah, whenever it popped, it could have just slung back and slung shot right into your tire.
That's crazy.
Looks.
Yeah, I think this is me and her right here.
Well, her corner of her vehicle over here, it looks like that might be what hit her car.
Oh, true.
Because they were trying to get it up onto your flatbed.
Okay.
I think it was.
No, I don't think it
wasn't
was
him.
him.
That you have important items back there that you need to retrieve, and
Do you?
they'll tell you
I
that
don't-
snowboard.
No, that's gone.
Really? Oh boy.
Well, they can replace it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
really?
It was destroyed in the wreck.
Oh, true. Yeah, I guess the rest of it would just be, I don't even think merch would be back there.
But let's just be
See,
sure.
that's just it though. You're not sure what's
There-
back there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
There's
have something back there that you forgot of a year ago, and it could be very important to you, you know, and you don't realize it until you see it.
Highway patrolman said it hit about 75 miles an hour.
Jesus, you're so lucky.
They are. I mean, yeah. Because they were, it's apparently when they were piecing together, they both were kind of knocked out.
Right.
They were between that and the tow truck.
One last look. It's crazy. Lucky to be alive.
In other words, you don't really see a lot of scratches from metal. Somebody, this could actually be from your son or the other person. Because like you say, you don't really see metal scratches into the paint or anything like that, except where it's bent. That's just paint chips falling off. But
So you think that was me?
I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, I don't see, if this was from a vehicle, it would have, you know, like chunks, scratches in it from metal, you know, metal to metal.
And you would
I don't see that.
And you would have blue on her car.
Oh, that's right.
You know, it would have transferred.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all this is dirt and like.
They've tried to piece it together. How their memory's still not.
So as you guys saw, it was pretty gruesome. Like the whole back end was like caved in. The muffler was hanging on the ground. The wheels were all bent. The rear window was smashed in. All the glass was everywhere. And I guess I must have hit like this part and it bent like the car. I don't even know. But it was pretty crazy. I'm gonna say this a lot, but I'm just so grateful to be here. Alright, so the next thing, it just, where I said it keeps getting worse, this is where it keeps getting worse. As I got the accident, I obviously got a lawyer to go ahead and sue the people that were at fault, and then they came back and tried to blame it on me, saying that I was at fault for sitting there behind the tow truck. Now granted, I know legally and what you're supposed to do is pull over to the side of the road, but I was following the tow truck driver. Like if the tow truck driver would have pulled over, I would have pulled over. I was following the tow truck driver. And also, if I didn't park behind the tow truck driver, me and my ex-girlfriend, we would not be here right now. That's a fact. Because regardless, the guy was not paying attention. All the tow truck lights were all on, so I don't know how he didn't see flashing lights. I guess he was really just looking down. I think he was texting and driving, who knows. He would have hit us regardless, because he really wasn't paying attention. So the fact that my car was there saved both of our lives, 100%. Because, I mean, who knows where we would have been standing, but you just, who knows? It's a bunch of what ifs. But regardless, he is trying to throw me at fault for sitting in the middle of the road unlawfully, and so I'm fighting that as well. And not only that, but since her injuries are going to be so severe and her medical bills are so high, that her side might actually come after my insurance to put me at fault. Maybe, I'm not 100% how that would work, but that's definitely what my lawyer said could happen. But we're still in the process of getting it like figured out, so I will actually make an update video of this. So if you guys want to stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and I'll let you know what ends up happening after the case is closed. So the next topic I want to talk about are my medical bills and what's going on with that. So with the medical bills, I went in, the ambulance was like $2,000. CT scan and everything ended up being over $50,000. And my settlement, I was talking to my lawyer, since it's already been a month, we've already come to a conclusion that I probably won't even get maybe 20% of what my medical bills are. So it kind of sucks, because whatever my insurance doesn't pay for my medical, I have to end up paying. And with the settlement that we come with, I have to probably use all of that to pay for my medical bills, and I'll probably end up being in debt with medical bills after that. It's that much. So it just kind of adds up, and it just sucks, because I was just there to help out, like that's it, and I'm just getting the worst of everything as far as like legal issues, not medical. She definitely got the worst of medical. She actually had surgery 2 days ago on her lower back again, because the inside of her back got infected. I just pray that she gets better and everything's good. As far as me and the healing process, I'm back to 100%. The only thing is kind of iffy is like my shoulder. Like I was playing basketball a little bit, like not going crazy, just hanging out with friends and just shooting the ball a little bit. I could tell my shoulder has like a pinched nerve or something. It's getting better. Like it was definitely better than it was. When I shoot the ball or pass it a little bit, there's some stuff hurting still. That's the medical bills and my lawyer situation. It just kind of sucks because like what we sue the people for, they have a max bodily injury and that's all we can sue them for, and it's not much at all, unfortunately. So I'm gonna be stuck with medical bills, probably. We'll see. I don't know. It's a waiting game now. So like I said, I'll make an update video and let you guys know what ends up happening and what I have to do with medical bills. But our next topic I'd like to talk to you guys about are the injuries of the entire accident. So we'll start with from the toes and we'll work our way up. So as I said, my toenail was bent at a 90-degree angle. They had to cut that off and my toe was kind of sore. I think it was like just jammed. My feet, like the top of my foot on the side right here, was bruised. I must have like slammed on my back and like really scraped my knees and back. I don't know how. None of us can figure out how I landed or slid on the asphalt, but I'll tell you my injuries and you guys can come to that conclusion. Both my knees were scraped up and bruised bad, and I remember like I could stand up, but I think I had so much adrenaline that it really wasn't fazing me. But when I tell you the next day, when I went to sleep and woke up and I went to go stand up on my knees, oh my gosh, that nothing hurt more than that, because every time I stood up, it was like the blood was rushing down to my legs and it would just pound on my knees and hurt so bad. My like hip was sore, so I had to walk with a limp a little bit, but I knew I had to walk and get my legs moving. Didn't want them to lock up and just stay like get stiff pretty much. So every day I went through that pain. I walked a little bit every day just to get blood moving, just get everything moving so it doesn't get stiff and get worse. It would look like this. I do this. I'd stand up and I'd be like, and I would literally like be slouching down like this and holding my knees, waiting for them to wake up for me to finally start walking. But once it like went through that process, I guess, I could actually walk better. But thankfully I had no broken bones or anything like that. I had road rash everywhere, on my whole hand, all had road rash. My elbows had road rash. This hand had road rash as well. My whole back, like this long, from up here all the way to here, was all road rash. It was only on the left side, thankfully. Like it was like from here to here, but it was like this. Like it looked like this, like a big oval, just right there. And this side was fine. All of this was fine. The last injury was the top of my head. I had contusions on the top of my head because obviously I slid on top of my head. Just, I guess, 2 cuts. And I had an injury right here, just a cut right here. I guess that was road rash, I'm not sure. And right there. My head was pretty good, like it was just bleeding, and it was like a big lump. Like it was like a baseball. It just plumped up in the back right there and it just swelled. Thankfully it was all external and not internal. So speaking of all the injuries, I did really mess up one night. I put a bunch of ointment on my back for the road rash. I didn't put a pad or anything on top. Okay, so just for future references, if you guys have road rash or anything that needs to be covered, cover it. Put the ointment on in the morning. And I went to go take a shower at night and it was time to take the shirt off, obviously. And as I went like this, I ripped like half of the shirt off my scab. I was like, ah, like it hurt so bad. Like that was probably the most pain I think I've experienced through this entire thing, probably, was the scab being ripped and stuck to my shirt and I had to rip it off. I was standing in the shower with water being dumped on my shirt for probably an hour, just letting the water soak on my shirt in my scab to finally like start to come off. But I was trying to like slowly peel it off and it just, the pain was so unreal, and finally it just slid off. Also, the second most pain I think I've ever experienced was the first shower. The first shower right after the accident hurt so bad. And I don't take pills like at all. Like the painkillers and stuff like that, I don't take it. I'll endure the pain, doesn't bother me. However, when I took my first shower, oh my gosh, all of it was being washed away, and I had to put Dial soap all over my body. I couldn't even walk. Like, I had to sit down. All my sores were just inflamed. It was just unbearable. I almost had to take the painkillers because it was that bad. Yeah, road rash in the first shower, no bueno. Those are pretty much all the injuries as far as head to toe. It really hurt, and it took me like 2 weeks to finally get back to kind of normal. And I remember like the first 3 days, I was kind of like in a daze. It was almost like I was drunk a little bit. I don't know how to explain it, but I was definitely concussed. And all I remember was like just being in like a daze for like 3 days, kind of not myself a little bit. We are back to 100% now. We are good. Been going to a chiropractor. They've been snapping me literally into place. So they said everything looks good. In conclusion, this whole accident does suck, and everything just kept getting worse. Accident, ticket, medical bills, getting sued by who hit me, which is pretty crazy. Still waiting for the settlement to come through and just have the whole case settled and done. Until then, I actually won't even be able to post this. So by the time this is posted, the case has been settled, and I'll also have an update. So it'll probably be right after this video. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button like I said. I want to see how this unfolds. I kind of want to see how screwed I'm gonna get, if I do get screwed over at all. We'll see. I haven't gotten a haircut for like a month. Look how long this thing is. The reason why is because, oh my god, I've never had my hair this long, like since I was in middle school. But I wanted to have the top part healed as much as possible before anything touches it, because I don't want it to like hit a scab or something and it just ends up bleeding again. Pretty much just a waiting game. Everybody who were sending your prayers and thoughts, I did mention it on my Instagram story. I really do appreciate you guys so much, and I want to say thank you guys. It meant a lot to me. It actually made me feel a lot better. My ex-girlfriend, she's still healing, so if you guys could pray for her. Pretty crazy. I view it as like a horror story, like, or it was like a horror movie for me. Every time I think about it, I hear the screams and everybody panicking. Honestly, thank the Lord for saving me, because I could have easily have died, like easily. And somebody was looking after me. But stay tuned, and I'll let you know how it goes. Thank you guys so much for watching.